Okay, so here's some 7 simul flip example solves. I'm gonna do example solves 2 each for all the versions that are like actually decent, and I'll put the scrambles in the description. Okay, so here's the first scramble. We're gonna be using Bpaul, the original Bpaul 7 simul flip version. So just looking at the scramble, we have this bar here, and then on the other side we have another bar, and then these two, which are in a good spot. So what I would probably do for this, putting these two together is nice because then we get a 0 in memo. So I'm gonna go from this angle. So we have R to D, which is 2, plus L to UL. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Then we have U to C, which is -5. And then L to U, which is 0. And then, so our memo is 5, and then I do A, B, C, D, E, F, or just A, B, C, D, E for negatives. So 5, E, O. And then for the second 3 numbers, we have these two, which are 6, plus 3. So that's -3 or C. So 5, E, O, C, O, C. Alright, so here's execution. 5, E, and then we match these two and do O on this. Make this block. And then C, O on this. Match these two, and then do C. Now we make this block, and then we solve the whole thing. Okay, here's the second example solve for the original Bpaul version. I'd probably go from this angle. This scramble doesn't really have like anything, so I just go for like, this would be like a low number. So that's nice. So we do R to D, which is -1, plus L to UL, which is -2, so -3. So we have C, and then 3, -1 is A, so C3A. Then we have R to D, which is 4, right? And then L to UL, which is -4, so that's O. So C3A, O, and then 1, 4. C3A, O, 1, 4. Now we can do execution. So C3, match these two, A, make the block, and then O, and 1, and then match these two, and do 4. What you'll notice is that when you do 4 on this, it'll match these two as well. So if you messed up, that can be helpful. And then now we make this block, and we solve it all to 12. Oops. Okay, so here is the first example solve for the Bpaul reversed version, which is what I use. It's not on the 7 simul flip document, but it's basically just Bpaul, but the first and third moves are reversed, and the fourth and sixth moves are reversed. So the pin order is basically UL, L, UR, and then you flip, and then you do the same thing. So on this scramble, obviously we have this big block right here. On the back, it's not great because we have a 5 right here, but that's fine. I would probably still go for this. So I'd start with this on the front, and then here's how it works. So we have DR to R, which is 5, plus U to L, which is 3. So 5 plus 3, and clock would be -4. So D, and then R to D is 5, plus this is L to UL, -1, which is 4. So D, 4, and then U to C is -5. So D4E, our first 3. Then we have, this is just 0. This is also 0. So our fourth letter is O. then this to this, R to D is 2, and then U to C is 0. So our second three letters are O to O. So we have D4E O to O, and then here's execution. So if you are, match these two, and then do our first letter. I look at this clock while I'm doing it. Then I make this block, and then I do the second two letters in the sort of group of 3. So 4, E, and we flip, and this block should be made. Align these two, and then do the letter on this one. So we have O, right, because O to O, so we don't do anything. Then we make this block, and then we do 2, put this pin up, and then do 2, and then since we had O, we don't do anything, and then we solve it all to 12, and it's good on that. Alright, here's the second example solved for Bpaul reversed. So usually when I do this, I like to have U and C be small numbers, so this is pretty good because they're both 2. So let's just start on this side. So first we have dr to r, which is a negative 4. Then we add c, or u to l rather. So that's negative 4 plus negative 4, which is 4. Then we have r to d, which is negative 3, plus l to ul, which is 4. So that adds to 1. So we have 4, 1, and then this u to c is 2. 4, 1, 2. This to this is 0. Then we add c, or u to l, so negative 4. So that's d. And then r to d is 5, plus l to ul is 1, is 6. So d, 6, this is negative 2, so b. So remember it was 4, 1, 2, d, 6, b. So now we match these two, match c to d. And then we do 4 on this. I make this block. And then we do 1, 2. I usually like to push up this pin before flipping. And then we match these two, and we do D, and we make the block. And then we do 6, B, and now we solve the slash move. Okay, so now we're on to the Tommy 7 simul flip V1 example solves. So here's the first scramble. Looks like this side's pretty good because we have, this line and these two are matched. I think I would probably hold it from this angle, because then we get to use this and this. I mean, we could hold it from this angle as well, but I like this more. So the first 3 letters of this are like the original Bpaul 7 simul flip. So R to D plus U, or L to UL. So right, this is 0 plus 1. So we have 1, and then U to C, negative 5, or E, 1, E, and then L to U is just 2. So 1, E, 2. And then now we just do the memo for like the slash move in Tommy 7 simul. So the way I do it is I look at where this one would go. So if it moves, so it has to move 5 to match this one. So then if I did 5 on this one, it would get to 1. So we have 1, and then we add this to this, or L to UL. We add that to 1, right? So that's negative 2, and then we add R to DR to that, which is 0. So it's just negative 2, and then we negate that number. So our first number of slash is 2, And then now we do the same thing, but starting on this side. So these two are actually already matched. So we can just look at where this one is right now, which is at -5. And then we add R to DR, which is 5, so that gets 0. And then we add L to UL, which is 1, so we have 1. So our full memo is 1 E 2 2 1. So now we start on this side, then we do 1 E, right? Then these are already matched, so we just need to do 2 here. Make this block, and then go into slash, and then flip, and then now you do slash. So 2 1. Now you make this block right here, and then you make this block, and then you solve it all to 12, and it's solved on this side. Alright, here is the second scramble for the Tommy V1 version of 7 simul flip. So the scramble doesn't really have anything. I guess I might go, not really all here. I guess I'll just go from this angle, because we have this 2, which is like kind of nice. So first we have R to D, which is 4, plus L to UL, which is 2, so 6. This is -5, so E. Then this L to U is -2, so 6 E, and then -2 is B. 6 E B. And then we can start slash memo. So this has to do 5 to match this. So 5 on this, we get it to 4, like 4 o'clock. And then we add R to DR, so -2 is 2. And then add L to UL, -1. So we get 1. And then for the first piece of slash memo, you have to negate it. So it's -1, so A. Right? And then now we look, this has to do -2 to match this. C has to do -2 to match U, rather. And then so D is going to move -2, and that gets it to -3. Then we add R to DR, which is 3, so it would get us 0. And then L to UL, which is 2. So now we're at 2. So our full memo is 6 E B A 2. Right? So now we use 6 E, line these two, B, make this block, A2, make this block, make this block, line everything to 12. Alright, now we're on to the Tommy V2 7 simul flip version example solves. So here's the first one. So with the scramble, right away I see this L right here. And then there's also this line. So unfortunately, because of the way it's positioned, we can only make use of, well, you can't make use of the fact that these two are matching. So I think what I would do is go from this angle that I'm holding at right now. So the first memo number is DR to R, which is 2, plus U to L, which is -4, so that's -2, which is B. Then we have R to D, which is -2, plus L to UL, which is 1, so that's -1, or A. So B, A, and then U to C is 4. So B, or actually, no, U to C is -4, so it'd be D. So B, A, D is our first 3. Then we do Tommy slash memo. So this needs to go 4 to get to this, and then if this goes 4, it'll be at 4 o'clock. Then R to D is negative 2, so we add that to 4, and then we just get 2. And then we add L to UL, which is 5. So 2 plus 5 is 7, or negative 5. But for this since this is the first slash memo, we have to negate it. So it'll just end up being 5. So now we do slash memo on this side, and these two are already lined together, so we can just look at the position where this is right now, which is 0. Then we add R to DR, which is negative 1, and L to UL, which is 1, so that just adds to 0. So our whole memo is BAD50. And then here's what we do. So we match these two together, and then we do B on this one. Now you make this block here, and then we do A on the left hand and D on the right hand. Now we flip, and then we do our slash memo, so 5 and then O. And then now we make the block around here, and then now we make the block around here, and then now we just solve everything to 12. Alright, here's the second scramble for Tommy 7 simul flip v2. So right away I see we have this case right here, and then we also have this. So this might be a time where you might want to actually just use regular Tommy 7 simul, because you would have no D moves, right? But yeah, so if I was using Tommy 7 simul flip, I would go from this angle, I think. Actually, no, I would go from this angle. And we have R, or DR to R, which is 4. Then we add that to U to L, which is negative 3, so that's 1. R to D, which is 3. And then we have L to UL, which is 1. That's 4. And then U to C is 0. So the first 3 letters are 1, 4, 0. Now let's get started with slash. So these two are already aligned, so we can just look at where this is right now, which is at negative 2. And then R to D, or R to DR rather, is negative 4. So we add those, and then we get negative 6, which is just 6. And then L to UL is negative 1. So if we add that, that's 5. And then we have to negate this one because it's the first one. So that's a negative 5, which is E, right? And then now for the second slash memo, this matching this would be negative 3. And if we do negative 3 on this, we get negative 4, right? And then now we add R to DR, which is 0, and L to UL, which is 1. So negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. So our full memo is 1, 4, O, E, O, E, C. 1, 4, O, E, C. Yeah, so now what we do, the first move would be to match these two, and then do 1. These two are already matched, so we just need to do 1 here. Now we need to make this block, and then we do 4, and then O, but O is just nothing. And then for our slash memo, E, C, then we make this block, and then we make this block, and then we align everything to 12. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm going to leave some more resources, like the original 7 simul flip document, in the description.